I'm Ross Van Wyk, founder of Overquota. We provide content and software to help sales reps unlock their full potential and win more deals. If you like the video, please subscribe to see more great content and future releases. In this video, you will learn a simple email framework for how to write prospecting email that will avoid the prospect's mental spam filter and instead compel interest. These are the elements you must account for when crafting a compelling prospecting email: the subject line, the greeting, and the 3x3 format, which includes context, value, and the ask. There are so many best practices and rules for writing good email, but using this simple framework will automatically account for the much longer list. You could have crafted the all-time best prospecting email, but without a great subject line, it won't get opened or read. Subject lines should be as short and to the point with 2 to 3 words. They should use personalization or keywords relevant to the persona's role or responsibilities so that they're interesting to the person receiving it. Subject lines should not be salesy, use emojis, exclamation points, or any other gimmicky tactic. Buyers tend to see those and instantly associate it with junk or spam. How you greet will set the tone of the email before they even open it. The first part of the greeting is the salutation. Don't be too formal, for example, using "Dear Prospect." Your best bet is to either use just their first name or include hi or hello. The second part of the greeting is their name. You should use the name they go by most commonly, which may not be their formal name. For example, Jonathan will likely go by John. In this case, if you don't use John, he would be inclined to think this email is from someone who doesn't know him well. Using LinkedIn, check out the recommendations section of their profile to see how their colleagues have addressed them. Then use that in their greeting. Every prospecting email you send should follow the 3x3 format. The 3x3 is 3 sections with no more than 1 to 2 sentences in each section. The first section delivers context, the second section delivers value, and the third section delivers your ask. Here are 2 prospecting emails I have received. We're going to deconstruct these as we go through the 3x3 email format. The first section of the 3x3 should deliver context in 1 to 2 sentences. Keep in mind, the first sentence is also viewable in the preview text before the email is even opened. The context should be an observation, setting the foundation as to why you're reaching out and not commenting on the college they attended. Let's take a look at our examples. Email number 1, "Hi prospect, I trust this message finds you well as I'm not certain if you successfully received my previous email. As mentioned before, Company Inc. has established itself based on conducting real recruitment strategies. Email 1 is wasting valuable space with the "I trust this finds you well" formality. Then instead of providing relevant context, it references other email attempts and that this is an additional interruption to my inbox. Lastly, it attempts a short pitch, but at this stage, I could care less because I have no context. Let's take a look at email number 2. "Hey prospect, looks like company has grown the remote sales team by 24% this year. And because I couldn't find a sales enablement leader on the team, I'd bet you're ramping and training reps while still closing deals." The second email states an observation, demonstrates the research that was done, and captures my interest by stating a responsibility related to my buyer persona. The context offered here resonates, and I'm intrigued to read what comes next in this email. The second section of the 3x3 delivers the value. If your prospect has gotten this far into your email, they're now asking themselves, what's in it for me? Focus on answering that question as you articulate the value that you offer. Let's take a look at example number 1. "Our team has many years of experience working within your industry and are experts in searches across all levels. We have partnerships with several startups just like yours, as well as Fortune 500 companies, and have exceeded their team's growth expectations." And I'll pause there because this example is way too long. And while what they offer could help me, I have to do too much work to translate what's in it for me and why I should care. Simply put, I don't easily see the value here. Let's take a look at example number 2. "Fast-growing software companies partner with us to get a unique and comprehensive sales playbook aligned to their growth objectives. Then we support implementation and drive ongoing adoption as a fractional sales enablement leader." Example number 2 is the appropriate length of 2 sentences long, and it informs me about who they work with and what they offer. It's connected to the context delivered in the first section related to my team's growth, and I can easily translate what's in it for me. The final section of the 3x3 is the ask, which includes a call to action. Let's take a look at our examples, starting with example number 1. "If you are tired of dealing with multiple points of contacts with no real results, we strongly encourage you to consider Company Inc. Let me know when you have a few minutes this week to connect." While this example isn't terrible, there are a few things here to call out. First, I'm not loving the language choice of "we strongly encourage you to consider." It feels a bit like a challenge and a bit forceful, especially with the next sentence being in bold text. It feels like the rep is yelling at me. Second, data suggests that asking for time or a call in a prospecting email isn't effective because it's perceived as too big of an ask at such an early stage, and thus it's easily ignored. Let's take a look at example number 2. Would having sales enablement support to free you up for VP of sales duties be worth learning more about? Example number 2 is better. First off, it's connected to the theme of the context and the value sections, and it teases the value of time savings. Also, it follows best practice using an interest-based call to action versus asking for the meeting. If you would like help getting started, check out our prospecting email blueprint linked in the description of this video. Don't forget to subscribe to the Overquota channel to receive more great content just like this in the future.